Welcome, and thank you for tuning in for another episode of the Sitecore Water Cooler, the casual conversation podcast dedicated to covering all things related to Sitecore, including product updates, implementation insights, getting the most out of your Sitecore investment, and more. I'm your guest host today, Maggie Burke, Sitecore Program Manager and Sitecore MVP at americaneagle.com. Sitecore is well known for being very customer and community forward. As an organization, they're heavily involved with bringing engaging experiences together to maximize the understanding of their ecosystem and all the exciting updates that are happening in their space. In the past, they held an annual event, Sitecore Symposium, which allowed talented professionals of all verticals to come together and share their insights and strategies around all things Sitecore. While Symposium is actively being planned for next year, the Sitecore team still wanted to be sure to give their audience a similar collaborative opportunity. Enter Sitecore DX and all of the additional Sitecore events being held the first week of October. Today, we will be focusing on those events and what our team looks forward to as we head out to Minneapolis next week. We are joined today by three of our senior Sitecore solution architects, James Gregory, Mohammed Siam, and Gaurav Agarwal, as well as our global Sitecore practice director and our host, Jonathan Price, all of which are experienced Sitecore MVPs at americaneagle.com and will be attending the various events throughout next week. John, James, Mohammed, Gaurav, welcome to the water cooler.
Thank you for having us.
Glad to be here.
Glad to be here.
All right. So kind of looking into next week, we've got these events coming up, and it starts off with MVP Summit. That's, a community event focused around the people that were awarded Sitecore MVP for 2023 and really gives people on the MVP team a chance to kind of see roadmap into the future, what's coming up, different things that Sitecore is planning for that is MVP exclusive. Then we have Sitecore DX, which is a free event that's catered around the different marketing teams, technology folks, people at different organizations, clients, prospects, and partners to talk again just about all the things that are kind of happening in that Sitecore ecosystem. And then the week is wrapping up with SubCon North America, which is definitely very community focused again, and all about just kind of the things that are coming up and on the roadmap and focusing on the people that are just within Sitecore on a day-to-day basis. So taking it over to the team, wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about what sessions you're looking most forward to next week. It's a heavy week, right? There's a lot of sessions going on. There's a lot of events packed in the 1 week. So any sessions that you guys are looking most forward to?
I can start. I'm really looking forward for the events next week. As you said, Maggie, we have three events. We have the MVP Summit, the Sitecore DX, and we have the Sitecore User Group Conference. I have been there for a couple of times with the MVP Summit, so it has been probably a couple of years I couldn't make it. So I'm looking forward to the open question and answer sessions that we have with the Sitecore teams, the Sitecore product teams. They bring up a lot of interesting discussions and clarify some more details where Sitecore is heading and with some certain parts of the different products they have. We also, as you said, Maggie, with the Sitecore MVP Summit, we know more about roadmaps for the different products, the features, the fixes, and also the new strategies which help us guide our clients to the best route moving forward. I'm mainly interested with XM Cloud product, so I'm going to look into the XM Cloud sessions, basically. Great. I know the MVP Summit agenda is not there yet, so looking forward, what it's going to be. Mm-hmm. For the Sitecore User Group Conference, there are a couple sessions. With this event, you meet like-minded people chatting and exchanging experience. As I said, I'm personally interested with XM Cloud, and I also have been involved in a couple of projects with XM Cloud. So on Thursday, I believe we have Built for XM Cloud according to the Architect of XM Cloud session by Andy. He's a principal architect at Sitecore. It would be an interesting session for me. He will go through best practices and design principles for a great experience in the composable future. So that's one I'm looking forward to attend. There is also custom connectors in Sitecore Connect. It's a new product. It's going to be a session by Evan he's a product manager at Sitecore. He will give a deep dive into Sitecore Connect's connector SDK building, how to bring your own services into Sitecore Connect, and many other things. So looking forward for that one as well. The last session I want to mention is Unleashing the Full Potential of XM Cloud Personalization with Sitecore Personalized by Rodrigo and Joe's. They're going to explain how we can accomplish component level personalization. I know that's not coming out of the box, so it would be interesting.
Very exciting. Yeah, I mean, personalization is a big word out there, right? Everybody wants to know how they're going to be able to personalize. And I think some people kind of get nervous when they hear that XP is going away, but it's going to be very exciting to kind of hear the different areas that you can kind of bring in CDP, personalize, and things like that into XM Cloud, especially because it sounds like there's a lot of excitement around XM Cloud and the different features that it has.
Now, for the Sitecore DX events, it's like a new to me. Like, this is the first time I'm attending a DX event. I'm really looking forward for our Sitecore Practice Director, John Price session. So I'm definitely going to attend that one, and I'm inviting everyone to not to miss it. There are also like couple sessions that I'm looking forward to attend. There is a session by Dave, the Chief Product Officer at Sitecore. He's going to talk about the benefits of cloud-based SaaS solutions, how composable drive innovation. So it would be interesting. There is also another session, I think it's joint between Sitecore and Microsoft, about how to automate personalized omnichannel experience with ChatGPT and OpenAI. There will be like a lot of AI sessions, so I would be interested to see what are these guys doing with AI and Sitecore.
Very exciting. And I think that's actually one of the keynote sessions is around AI specifically. Gaurav, do you have anything to add to that? Is that one of the sessions you're looking forward to see?
Yeah, thank you, Meg, for having me. So this is the first time I will be attending this event. So this is going to be very fun for me as well. And becoming an MVP is a great achievement. And attending the event gave us opportunity to connect with fellow Sitecore MVPs. So I'm really looking forward for the roadmap as we get to know more about Sitecore XM Cloud, CDP. I'm more interested in Order Cloud as I worked on Sitecore Commerce in 4 projects. So it's going to be fun how they are going to be migrate from Sitecore Commerce to Order Cloud. And I'm very grateful to Sitecore as well, like to giving me opportunity to becoming an MVP. And if I talk about some sessions, so I want to go with first DX event. So this is going to be first DX event for me as well again. So I want to see some specific session like for Steve. So he's our CEO, Sitecore CEO. He's going to talk about the composable future. That is the very hot topic these days because everyone is going to composable right now. And I'm more interested in session of our own John Price, who is presenting 2 times. So he's going to present about seamless integration of Sitecore XM with personalized and CDP for our customer. He's going to talk about Sitecore composable product like personalization and CDP, how we have implemented those successfully with some greater ideas. So that is going to be more fun to see him on stage. And
maybe fun. We'll see.
Then the Sitecore CPO, Dave, session about composable DXP again. He's going to talk about the benefit of cloud-based SaaS solution, how you can achieve the digital transformation goal using composable. There is some more event I'm looking forward. There are some more sessions like about artificial intelligence and ChatGPT. Those are going to be interesting as this is the era of artificial intelligence. And I'm looking forward for Noel Russell, who is our Chief AI Officer, and who's going to present about artificial intelligence can be utilized every day to improve business and the world. There will be some more interesting topic about XM Cloud. So I just want to see those events as well.
Great. And James, is there anything on your kind of agenda or schedule that you're really excited or interested to hear more about?
I think there's a lot of great sessions out there. I mean, just looking through the agenda for DX and SudCon, a lot of the trends that I'm seeing, there's a lot of moving to composable sessions, a lot of how to migrate your content, getting into the SaaS worlds, tips and tricks for doing different headless frameworks. Definitely a focus on XM Cloud and the headless space. A lot of sprinklings of AI throughout there. And that is kind of one thing I'm interested in seeing as well, is that DX session in the afternoon, that 3:30 session where it's Sitecore and Microsoft presenting together. Because there's a lot of buzz in the Gen AI, but I think there's a lot of hurdles and hindrances for businesses to get into it. It's hard to dedicate cost to something if you don't have a clear plan on how it's going to benefit the business. Do you have staff and resources to get up to speed on it? So there's a lot of barriers to get into it, but it's definitely a lot of potential there. So I'm curious to see, any latest developments, their new on-ramp for companies to get into it. A lot of industries covered. I love getting together this time of year, kind of get up to speed with the latest happenings in Sitecore, the roadmaps, hear from customers, the successes. We get a lot of demonstrations throughout the DX, especially, and also SugCon of the success stories. And it's across various industries, right? Insurance, healthcare, transportation, real estate, law. So it's good to see the application of Sitecore in different scenarios. There's a session in the SugCon that's interesting, kind of focusing on healthcare and seeing how healthcare is dealing with privacy issues in the cloud and watching that story unfold. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a great event to touch base and meet up with the community, see everyone in person again. That was a fun time.
That's great. I think you made a great point there too, because that's part of why these events are so exciting, is that there are many verticals that are being talked about, right? So it's going to resonate with a lot of different people, because no matter if you are in healthcare, if you are in finance, if you're in, any sort of credit union or whatever it may be, you're going to likely hear success stories from your different verticals. And so it can, again, resonate with the people that are attending and get them more excited about it. So speaking of sessions, we have one of our speakers actually in-house today. And, I think we're all excited, obviously, to go see the main stage slot with United Airlines and our practice director, Jonathan Price. So, John, I just wanted to ask you, can you tease us a little bit about what the session's going to be, us and the listeners, and maybe some ideas of what they can expect out of the two sessions that you have?
Sure, absolutely. And thanks for the call out, guys, on the sessions. And Maggie, thanks for having me. Yeah, I think, when I attend these conferences or when I speak at these conferences, one of the biggest gaps I see is, showing actual examples of how things are working, right? So we're talking with a great client of ours, United Airlines. Sure, most of have heard or ridden on their airline or flown on their airline over time. And, we have two very specific sessions. We're going to be on the main stage after Steve T's initial keynote. And that session is going to be a 10-minute tease on, how United Airlines is leveraging some of these new composable technologies, right? Sitecore has gone through a massive transformation, right? So there's a lot of new products in play. You have a lot of customers that are on, dare I call them, the legacy CMS. They might be on XP. United Airlines is a great story because, we're running basically hybrid of composable and some of the existing technologies. So the one thing I want to get across to Sitecore customers is, hey, here's a real life example on something that you can resonate with, that you use every day. And then here's how a real life client is leveraging these technologies. So I'm going to be joined by Charlie Hong, who's their product owner on the digital signage side. And we're going to go over how we impact millions of travelers with Sitecore's composable technology, and then give a quick sneak under the hood preview on how this works. So next time you go to an airport, you can get an idea of how Sitecore is actually driving the experience at gates. And then the next session is going to be with Rick Bauer. Rick's been in the Sitecore community for, probably near a decade. He's on their customer transformation team. And again, taking their other side of the business, which I won't give too much away at this point, but longtime Sitecore users, a lot of Sitecore technology in play. And we help them roll out personalized and CDP in a hybrid way where they're using a lot of the new technology, but they didn't have to get rid of everything that they already had. So it's a pretty cool hybrid model on how existing Sitecore customers can think about how they can leverage personalized CDP, but also leverage what they currently have. So it's a really cool story. My big thing at these conferences I mentioned is letting people give takeaways on how they can use this technology in their day-to-day lives. So that's what I'm hoping to portray. Keep me honest and let me know if we hit those, if we do hit on those facts. But that's a quick tease on what we have prepped. So looking forward to next week, definitely.
Awesome. Yeah, very excited to see that session. I think it'll be extremely cool just to see. We got to hear a bit about the beginning of the journey with United Airlines, so it's going to be really exciting to actually see those demos and see what you guys have come up with that team. So very much looking forward to it. All right. So back over to the team then too, we talked about a few different products, right? XM Cloud, Order Cloud, Sitecore Connect. I'm sure there's going to be some stuff about Sitecore Send, CDP, personalized, et cetera. Are there any products you guys are looking the most forward to hearing about or learning more about? Whether, like I said, I know that the sessions really are going to cater around XM Cloud. There's a lot of buzz about it. And we've even implemented it on our side. So are any products you guys are really looking forward to hearing more about?
I can start with that one.
Okay.
The one that jumps out to me that I'm trying to keep a close eye on is the Sitecore Search and Sitecore Discover. I'm really excited to learn kind of where they're at in the roadmap. They've talked about wanting to merge the two, and I think that's just such an open area to improve on, is being able to bring content search and commerce search together, so that you can boost the right products based on the content that's being searched. So I'm really excited to see the developments of that. I don't think it'll be ready this year, but I just want to keep up to date and see where they're at with those products.
Very cool.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward for Content Hub 1, as we already worked on Content Hub. So this is going to be a new feature. So I'm just looking forward for it.
Very cool.
For me, it's gonna be, as I said, like XM Cloud. I'm looking forward to see what's coming, like what features will be added to the product. I'm involved in a couple XM Cloud projects, so I would be interested to know where we're heading.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, it'll definitely be a jam-packed week with lots of different sessions, especially as Sitecore is moving into this more composable world that they're already in at this point with all their different SaaS products. So I think that the entire team is very excited to hear more about a lot of these products. So kind of as we wrap up here, I wanted to talk a little bit more about what you guys are most excited for next week. I know for myself, I'm a first-year Sitecore MVP, so really looking forward to actually going to attending the summit this year, seeing just kind of what they're going to talk about, what are the things that as, an exclusive member of the community, you get to kind of get firsthand at and hear more about, but also just to be in the same room with all these talented professionals and experienced strategists. So I know that's what I'm probably the most excited for next week. Gaurav, I know it's your first MVP summit as well, but anything else from you guys in terms of just, if you had to say what you're the most excited for next week?
Yeah, so I'm 4-time Sitecore MVP, but this is the first time I'm attending it in person. So I heard about it a lot, like they are showing roadmap and all. I just wanted to see that in person right now. Also, there will be some Sitecore MVPs that I know virtually, but I get to know them in person. So that's why I'm more interested to see these things.
Very cool.
You will enjoy it, Gaurav. Like I have been there a couple of times. Like it's gonna be a lot of fun. It has been like around 4 years since I attended like in-person events, so I'm very excited about it.
Very cool.
I do like that this year it's, in past years, the MVP summits happened after a symposium. So having it happen before the kind of the main public events, I like that shift where the MVPs can meet first and get kind of up to date on the latest happenings and then carry that context over. But yeah, definitely looking forward to the side discussions with the MVPs and the product leaders. Good discussions.
Very cool.
Yeah, I think this year we'll definitely get some clear messaging and good direction on where products or where Sitecore is going from a product perspective for existing customers, right? They have thousands of customers on their previous core platform, their DXP platform. I think we're going to see some good examples of people migrating to SaaS. We had a really good example in Boston for a large healthcare client of ours, 300 sites that just launched. So nice quick plug for us. But also I think we'll see some clear discussion and direction on hey, you're an existing Sitecore client. Here's how we can help move you over to SaaS, or at least progressively. So I'm looking forward to some of that messaging.
Very cool. And we'll have a podcast coming soon about those 300 plus sites on XM Cloud. So another quick plug if you want to hear more about it. All right. Well, John, James, Mohammed, Gaurav, thank you guys all for joining us at the water cooler today. I look forward to collaborating with you guys soon, and we hope to have you back on the water cooler again soon. Thank you to our listeners today as well, and we hope to see some of you next week at Sitecore DX. Be sure to stop by our Diamond sponsor booth and say hi to our MVP team. Thanks again to John Price, James Gregory, Mohammed Syam, and Gaurav Agarwal for joining us today on the Sitecore Water Cooler podcast, a casual conversation between colleagues and peers centered around all things Sitecore. I'm your guest host, Maggie Burke, and until the next time we meet at the water cooler, be sure to subscribe to the Sitecore Water Cooler podcast today, wherever you find your podcasts. This episode is brought to you by americaneagle.com studios with special thanks to executive producers Renee Nelson, Julia Klepage, and Brian Winger.